I want to thank all the prison administration, the correction officers, all those staff members that were there that responded, and certainly to Mr. Haggerty, to Controller Bateman, to anyone else who made their way out there yesterday to respond. You know, it's this is a job that at times I don't think we realize. Like sometimes our elected officials and those in these roles, it's not a 9-to-5 job. Sometimes you get called in the middle of the night. Sometimes you get called when there's a crisis, and I'm just thankful for everyone's response amid that crisis. Also, Director Bay, I know he went on site as well, responding to this, and so I'm just incredibly grateful for everyone who and the response to ensuring the safety of our residents there and also those that work there. I would also like to share an update on our Bhutanese Nepali neighbors and the recent developments regarding their detention by ICE and subsequent deportation to Bhutan. To begin, I think it's important just to kind of level set with some historic background. In the late 80s and early 90s, the government of Bhutan began a campaign of persecution against its Nepali-speaking minority. This included stripping people of their Bhutanese citizenship to ethnically cleanse this group in the 90s, leading to roughly 100,000 people ending up in refugee camps in Nepal, in nearby Nepal. Nepal never accepted these people as citizens and was unwilling to take responsibility for them long term, and Bhutan refused to ever take them back. The United Nations, in collaboration with other countries, then set up a resettlement program for these refugees. The United States, under President George W. Bush, offered to take the majority of these refugees, 60,000 people. President Barack Obama renewed this commitment and took in further Bhutanese Nepali refugees. While they settled across the United States, being a refugee is not easy, as one has to learn a new language, new customs, and find new communities. Eventually, many Bhutanese Nepali refugees found themselves drawn to a growing community right here in central Pennsylvania. Our Bhutanese Nepali community has grown into the largest in the nation, with over 40,000 people, making our region a central hub for this community across the country. I encourage everyone to reflect on the immense hardship this community has endured over the past 35 years. In the last 3 weeks, I've spoken with many members who shared powerful stories of spending over 2 decades in refugee camps under harsh conditions after being forced from the only home they had ever known. After years of displacement, they finally found a place to call home, right here in Pennsylvania. They've been working hard to build their lives, sending their children to our schools, contributing to our local economy, and becoming an integral part of our community. These are exactly the kind of neighbors I'm proud to represent. Now this community is terrified and feeling targeted. While many of them are naturalized citizens, they see 18 Bhutanese Nepali residents have been deported despite coming here legally as refugees. Yes, these individuals may have minor criminal histories, which enabled ICE to attempt to remove them from the United States, but that is no reason to rip them away from their wives, children, brothers, sisters, and community. This country made a bipartisan commitment to these people, one that we should observe. If individuals are having a tough time with an unimaginably hard transition, we should help them with our programs rather than send them back to the very country that persecuted and expelled them. The government of Bhutan, as I see it, refused to take these people back and immediately sent them to a town in India bordering Nepal. Once again, they find themselves refugees, stateless and without proper documents. Some have been arrested by Nepali police while attempting to visit their few remaining family members still living in the last of the refugee camps. One of those individuals arrested is a Dauphin County resident. ICE is not communicating why they are going after these people, what criteria they are using for their removal. At least 9 other individuals from PA are currently detained by ICE while awaiting possible deportation. Their families are gripped by fear, terrified they may never see their loved ones again, whether it's a brother, son, husband, or father. The community right now is living in uncertainty, unsure of who might be targeted next. Even those who are now American citizens are afraid to leave their homes. haunted by memories of having their citizenship stripped away in Bhutan within their own lifetime. That fear still lingers. These refugees must be given the time and opportunity to exercise due process guaranteed to all persons under the Constitution. Being arrested and deported within just 3 weeks, while being shuffled between detention facilities every few days, often with limited English proficiency, is not enough time to fully access or understand their legal rights. We must do better. We owe it to these individuals and to the promise we've made as a nation committed to protecting the vulnerable. I'm calling on ICE and the Trump administration to immediately pause all deportations to Bhutan until the safety and security of those being deported can be clearly and independently verified. We have a moral and legal obligation not to return refugees to a country that once ethnically cleansed them. It now appears we are doing so again. Some may say this is political, but for me, it's about people. It's about my constituents. We must see their humanity. As an elected official, it's my duty to stand up for them and uphold the values of justice, dignity, and compassion. We'll now move on to a time of public participation. A reminder, we are being live streamed, and it is a 3-minute limit on public participation. Is there anyone for public participation? Good morning.
Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, guests. In light of some of these more heart-heavy topics,
Could you
I
please
come
state your
before
name
you.
for the record? I'm sorry.
Thank you, Eric. Sorry, first time. Mary Oliveira, President and CEO of Whitaker Center for Science and the Arts. Would just like to offer a little of a lighter moment here in lieu of some of the things we've had to discuss so far. I would like to thank all of the commissioners for their support on the extension request for Whitaker Center's 2010 RACP. We are working diligently with our consultant, as well as Pyramid Construction, Stantec, and the Office of Budget. We've accomplished more in the last 6 months than we have in the prior 2 to 3 years in resolving this outstanding issue. These direct reimbursement funds stem from our 2020 Innovation Zone projects and will provide much-needed relief to an operating budget on the verge of stabilization. Over the last year and a half, we've replaced our entire roof. We're halfway through replacing our HVAC system, and some of these fundings will help us with the final deferred maintenance project of replacing our fire panel system. This critical infrastructure needs to ensure Whitaker remains a safe, inclusive, and welcoming destination of choice for our community. Speaking of guests, so far year to date, 2025, we are seeing a 25% increase in public visitors through our doors. A 5% increase year over year in our field trip students who come in to explore, engage, and learn through play. And we've had several close to sold out performances in our theater since relaunching our Whitaker Center Presents to the community. We invite all of you to rock out with us when we introduce Killer Queen, the tribute band, on June 27th, featuring Patrick Myers. All of these activities continue to have a positive economic impact for the region, and we're continuing to build our proactive reach out to communities surrounding our current zip code to invite and encourage traffic into the downtown. We are building our strategic plan with our board, our team, and stakeholders in the community to position the crown jewel of our community for a successful next 25 years. Thank you again.
Quickly, Mary, I just want to express thank you for the field trips that you do. My daughter was there yesterday for Surgery Live and got to experience that with her classmates from Lower Dauphin High School. And it was a great experience after talking to the teachers and everyone. So thank you for all your facility does to bring that kind of education into our communities.
Well, thank you, Commissioner. I know she has her sights set on possible political career, but maybe we'll convert her to
if you've had one
healthcare.
conversation with her, she'll let you know that. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, and this is not has anything to do with what you just brought up, other than you said about increasing traffic into the downtown. I've been contacted recently by several business owners downtown who are very concerned with the lack of traffic and the fact that the state workers are still not coming back to work, and they're losing millions of dollars, and some of them are shutting down already. Can we open up a dialogue with the city of Harrisburg and work together to get a message to the state leadership that we need those folks to come back to work? Thank you.
Thank you so much for all you're doing. Thank you. All right, next up.
Next up,
Yeah.
batters
Mr. Butts,
up.
how you doing?
Matter of fact, I'm proposing indoor batting cages throughout the city, so in the wintertime.
Excuse me, could you please state your name for the record?
Louis Butts. I'm asking for an opportunity to present an image for our city so we won't be taken over by Trump. Our heritage, I am a Harrisburgonian, and it's a real word. You need to look at that symbol a little bit to really get some history of how we got a backbone. We need to build our industry. Refugees, if we look at our history, we won the Civil War. We're supposed to have an answer for this issue. As a Harrisburgonian, I have an answer. We have borders. We need to fix little problems, like why are they keep on bumping into the bridge? Can't we put a barrier so that they know they can't enter the bridge? We have to fix the little problems to get things in sync, like we know what we're doing. I'm here to discuss hydropower and bringing hydropower to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, because we're looking at renewable energy, and the Susquehanna River is ours. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania owns the Susquehanna River. We can harness it. We have to build industry. We don't have any more revenue in Harrisburg. And I want you, as the weeks go on, you give me 5 minutes so I can go over a vision for Harrisburg, so our people won't get abducted. We have to get a backbone in ourselves so we can our people are valued. So we have to look at the symbol of right here in Dauphin County. Look at it. Look at the symbol in Harrisburg and try to get a backbone of what we're supposed to be doing. Just listen to my vision for the future. We're talking hydropower. We're talking about necessary Wi-Fi. We need to count our people. We need to take care of our population first. If we're not doing that, they're getting abducted. And we won the Civil War. How can our people get abducted and we're the liberators? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Look at the seal and get a backbone. Look at it. In Harrisburg, they need to look at their seal and get a backbone. And I'm done. But I'm going to be looking for 5 minutes next week so I can talk about Harrisburg International Aquarium that I'm looking at. This plan right
You
here.
have 30 seconds, sir.
I got you. Mr. Haggerty? Am I right? No, Mr. Haggerty. Now, in 2014, there was a connection study. We need to look at this a little bit and get some kind of vision for how our